So I'm here in Marbella, and I get some news on my phone while I'm at the beach that Charlie Kirk is shot and he passes away, right? And immediately what's interesting is I see a lot of the comments, because this is on Twitter. I see a lot of people who are hating on him and basically saying like, oh, he deserved to die because he said X, Y, and Z, and like he didn't like black people. A lot of black people are wishing him dead, right? They're happy that he's dead. And this spoke to me when I started to understand how people think. Me as a content creator, as somebody who is saying what he believes is true on a regular basis and has said things that has pissed people off to where they've literally sent death threats to me on my Instagram page, people who look like me, it tells me where the state of people are these days, right? Where people aren't genuinely living life. They're not living the life that they truly want to live, because when you're living the life that you truly want to live, you're not going to let somebody's words rattle you. There are things that Charlie Kirk has said that I disagree with completely. There are things that people around him have said that I disagree with completely when it comes to black people being stupid. Like, I think that's a broad term, but I don't necessarily agree with that, obviously, because I'm black. I don't identify myself as stupid, right? I don't. My life has said otherwise. But at the same time, I don't wish him dead. I'm not happy that somebody killed him, because I understand that can be anybody. That can be anybody who has a certain methodology or a certain ideology that people don't necessarily like. That same person can be a target of death if they don't watch themselves. And that's the craziest part about life right now, especially in the United States, which is, I'm glad I left that shit, because I got to a point where I was like, man, like, granted, the situation that made me leave was not directly correlated to being more free, et cetera, et cetera. It was more, okay, my wife got deported, et cetera, et cetera. That's why I ended up moving. But by moving, it showed me that I left a shitty place, which was the United States. And most people are going to disagree with me here, but it's getting to a point where it's getting really bad, to where, like, you go to the United States, the taxes, right? Everything is crazy. The way that people are, everyone's so hyper emotional there. Now that I've moved, even to Romania, I've noticed many people are not hyper emotional, right? I've seen a lot of hyper emotionality in the US. Even being here in Marbella, when you walk around and you see people, you don't see people just pissed off. Everyone's fucking happy and shit. Everyone's living life. And I like that. But when you go to the United States, everyone's upset. Everyone's mad about some shit. Something went wrong. There's always some political thing that just charges people up to where they have to take extreme measures to just cope with their inadequacies in terms of, like, understanding that everyone has a political view. It doesn't fucking matter, right? But I go back to this Charlie Kirk thing because it told me that it doesn't matter what you say, you're not fucking safe. Everyone's getting crazier and crazier and crazier. I do believe that the timeline of humanity ended at 2020 when COVID happened. I genuinely believe that's when everything changed. People started getting angrier. People started getting even more antisocial. People started doing all this shit because they now got closed in on the idea of, okay, now I'm isolated. It's me versus me. It's just me, et cetera, et cetera. My phone just dropped, but it's all good. That's the thing now. That's what I've noticed with society. And I've noticed that people who are starting to speak out online, such as myself, such as all of these other people, you start to realize that there's certain hate that you will receive that you never expected. Did I ever think that someone would ever wish death upon me? Y'all know me, I haven't said anything crazy yet. Everything that I've said has not been as crazy as they can be. People who know me know I believe in some shit that most people, they would be like, what the fuck? But it tells me that you always gotta be 10 toes down, and you gotta watch out. It don't matter who you are, because to see someone like Charlie Kirk get shot in Utah, where, by the way, Utah is a very conservative area with some hyper liberals as well. It's a very conservative area, but at the same time, there are so many people who were there that were listening to him. Granted, I could give a fuck if what he said was correct or not. It's what he said. He didn't do anything. He just showed up, and he's been open to debating people. And the fact that someone like him could go sit there And somebody could literally, and you could say that it was something that was coordinated. It was something that people were saying it was Mossad. People were saying X, Y, and Z. I don't know. They were saying it was the Jews. It was whatever. I don't know. But all I know is he was sitting in an open area. He got shot in his throat and he bled the fuck out. And I know that anybody is liable to be a victim of that if they are speaking their truth in life. And what I've noticed is when you are living your life and you're truly enjoying your life, you don't give a fuck if somebody says something that goes against you because you're living a good life. But I've noticed the people who live the shittiest lives, the people who are constantly upset about what somebody else thinks, are the ones that live the shittiest lives. They do the shittiest things to silence people who are shaking them because all they have left is their emotions. That's all they have of value. Their life doesn't feel inherently valuable enough for them to give a fuck. So they have to literally do some other shit to make their life feel valuable, to cancel somebody else's life because of what it is that they said that goes against their values, because that's all they have. Their emotions, that's all that matters. And so because of this, you get this whole ideology or this whole movement of people who are radicalized to destroy people based on their opinions. Literally, bro. Seeing this shit hurts me because I know that any of us who are on social media can be victim of this. Any. Am I here to defend Charlie Kirk and his views? I don't give a fuck. I don't care about his view. I don't care. I care that he's a human being with a wife and children, and he got shot because of some shit that he said and stances that he took. And it wasn't even, and black people were like, oh, I'm glad he got shot. Well, it wasn't even a black person that shot him. It was an old white guy. Which, again, we can argue maybe he was a plant, maybe it was all coordinated. We don't know. But what we do know is he got shot in fucking Utah, where his views are actually the most embraced, which is crazy to me. So that tells me nobody's safe. Nobody. I'm glad I moved. I'm glad I'm in areas. I wish I could. Shit, if y'all could see this shit. Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all. This is the vibe. I can't even zoom in, can I? The vibe is lit. On a fucking island, bro. Living life. La vida loca. Absolutely glorious, bro. And I get to do this because I've built a lifestyle for myself that allows for me to do this. Through trial and error. I've tried so many things, fellas. I've had so many businesses. I've done so many things, but this life that I'm living, I wish that for everybody. I wish everybody could live this life. You wouldn't be so mad on the internet if you were living that type of life. If you were living a life you truly want to live and you were traveling and you were experiencing new things, you wouldn't feel the need to hate on anybody. You feel what I'm saying? But because you live a life that you don't like, and I'm not saying you, but I'm saying people who chronically hate and wish death upon people on the internet, they are living shitty existences. I can't be bothered at this point. I can't, because I've built a life that I fucking want. And you got to be the same way. You got to build a life you want so you can't be bothered by somebody else's opinions. If everybody was living the life they truly wanted, they wouldn't give a fuck about influencers. They wouldn't care about what somebody said online. They wouldn't be triggered. I guarantee you. I haven't seen someone who's living a pretty good life go on social media and put out a page worth of a comment under somebody else's shit. I haven't. I've seen people who have shitty lives because you click on their profile and you're like, this guy is not living a good life. I can fucking tell. Even just the way he represents himself. You can see that. But that all goes to show, fellas, that like when you get into this content game, it's not easy. Your life is on the line. Your life is on the line. I know it sounds crazy to believe. It is true, right? And my best possible advice for anybody who's looking to get into this content creation thing, defend yourself. Make sure you can defend yourself. Make sure that you're careful with where you go if you get to I'm very small as a creator right now. I'm not even big enough. And I'm still getting death threats. I can only imagine somebody with 1 million subscribers or 1 million followers and shit. I get why they got security teams now. But build yourself up to build the life that you want so you can get away from all that bullshit anyway. Right? That's literally me. So I appreciate you. I hope this was valuable. Again, all of my links, all of my programs, courses, description, if you're interested in building yourself up and you have a little bit of money to spend on little things to help you get better, I got all that. Physique, communication, charisma, building a YouTube channel and gaining the freedom that I have as well from doing that. All of that will be there. And obviously I do have one-on-one coaching for people who are interested in being the best version of themselves, developing the life that they want, lifestyle design, all of that stuff. This is literally what I do. This is what the essence of my coaching is, and helping you get around all of the shit that's limiting you in your mental, your mindset, your beliefs, and everything. And yes, this is a program where I am picking specific people, but if that's you, then you will get contacted by me through WhatsApp. So I appreciate you, and I'll catch you on the next video.